Tut with Big Hat Barbecue, and we've been testing some rubs out today, doing a little comparison with them. I'm gonna move you down here where you can see the rubs. All right, so what we done earlier, we had two steaks. One was a New York strip. New York strip, we used Brisket Mafia Rub. On the ribeye that I used B&B. We put down the Trinity first as a first layer, and then we topped it off with some cattle call. Okay, so those were the two rubs. You've seen the pictures of the steaks cooking, what they look like at the very end. So let's talk about them a minute. All right, so the wife done the taste test for me. The Brisket Mafia, this one here, Brisket Mafia, it has a little heat on the end of it, okay? Little heat on the end of it, which apparently is a good thing here in Texas if you cook in the Steak Cooking Association, because apparently the judge like a little bit of spice, a little bit of bite to it. I just cooked a competition this past weekend and I got dinged really hard on my taste. And the only thing I can think of is the practice steak I cooked the exact same way and seasoned it the exact same as my turn-in steak. The practice steak tasted a little sweet to it. So apparently they're not a fan of sweet. So I'm on the search for something that's got a little bite to it. Now I use Cosmos Q products and we love Cosmos Q products, but that was the only thing that I used was all of his stuff. And apparently, I guess I should have gone with the hot version of either the Dirty Bird or the cow cover or something. But anyway, the judges didn't like it. B&B. I am officially an unofficial sponsor for B&B, or representative rather for B&B. B&B, they have a few rubs out. And now these rubs, whole different taste profile on the steak. Very good. It was very good. I didn't get any heat with it as I did with the Brisket Mafia. Okay. As you saw in the video, my wife, she loved the B&B, but she also liked the Brisket Mafia. She said she would eat either one of these before. Now, previously, we done a video on Be Extreme. She wasn't real impressed with that. Now, I met with some people at Be Extreme and got some fresh spices, and we're going to give it another shot. I don't know if I was too heavy on the seasoning on those steaks or what, but anyway, she didn't like it, but we're going to give it another shot. So Be Extreme, you got another chance at this. Now, the Be Extreme stuff, apparently the SCA judges, they like it. Two people won big in this last SCA event using the Be Extreme. So anyway, back to these two. Brisket Mafia. You can find him on Instagram. He's out of Lubbock. Now, the problem I had with this was as soon as I took the lid off, what I found was no kind of freshness seal on here. And the spice here, the rub, was all clumped up. You can kind of see it still clumped down here in the bottom, and there's like some big chunks right up in here and stuff. So I literally had to take an ice pick and break that up. So I wasn't happy with that, but it still tastes good, all right? The B&B, I opened it up, and lo and behold, there was a freshness seal there, okay? Now, I want you to look at the two. This brisket here, this brisket rub from Brisket Mafia, it's a very coarse grind. The cow call and the Trinity is a very fine rub, okay? So the texture is very fine to them. Now, on the steak, you could really see a difference with the rubs, the seasoning on the steak. You could see big pieces of the Brisket Mafia on there. Now, this is a brisket rub. And of course, you know, here in Texas, we like the coarse black pepper and the coarse salt. So we like big chunks on that brisket. So what we're going to do is, I told him when I got this I was going to do a review on it. So I have a 14-pound brisket that I got locally here. And we're going to put this on here in just a little bit. It's about 9:15, so probably around 11 o'clock or so. This is going to go out on the Masterbuilt 1050 Gravity Series. So it's a big grill, and it can definitely handle this big piece of meat. This is all we're going to season it with. No salt, pepper, no nothing else, okay? This is it. This brisket has already had the decal fat removed from it, and it's got just a little bit of fat to it. Get it down here where y'all can see it. Got a little bit of fat to it. I might not have to do hardly any trimming at all to this. Matter of fact, I don't think I'm going to. But if you've ever wondered how do you cook a brisket, I'm not going to teach you how to do that. Not tonight. All right, but I want you to take a look right here on the side of Brisket Mafia's bottle. There is step-by-step directions how to use this rub and how to cook your brisket. All right, I'm not going to follow the directions on here because I know how to cook a brisket, but we are going to only use this, and then we'll give a review of just the brisket rub. Now, when I do the reviews, I'm honest on the review. If it's good and we like it, I'll tell you it's good and we like it. If it's bad, I'm gonna tell you it's bad. But remember, you know, that's just one man's opinion. But for us, that's just the way it goes. I want y'all to be informed on some of these rubs. Some of these rubs are just chock full of salt. Some of them very little salt. So, you know, if you have any kind of medical issues or whatever, you know, you might want to keep that in mind on what you got going on your meat and stuff. All right. So anyway, thanks. I'll let you know how this brisket turns out on here. Hey, I know I'm new at this, and I just want to appreciate those that are have liked and subscribed to my channel. This is a one-man show, and as you can tell, I'm an old man, and I'm still trying to figure out how to use some of these gadgets to film this video. But if you want an honest review on a piece of equipment, barbecue equipment, a rub, a spice, anything like that, hit me up. I'll be more than glad to do a review for you. The Brisket Mafia, this is not a paid review. I paid dearly for this. The shipping was almost as much as the bottle was. So, you know, it wasn't free. Same thing, the B&B, even though I'm unofficially a ambassador for them, I bought these. They weren't given to me, and these turned out to be pretty good. I don't know if I would use these in an SCA competition, especially since they like a little heat around here apparently. These were really good though. I recommend, I do, I really recommend the B&B rubs here. And it's, they've won awards with it. They've won awards with it, so you can't go wrong. But anyway, back to the Brisket Mafia. I'll let you know how it turns out. I'm going to get off this thing, get this brisket seasoned up, and get it ready to go out on that Masterbuilt 1050. But anyway, like, subscribe, hit that little bell for me if you would, help an old man out. Hey, give us a follow on Instagram. It's Michael Tutton 44 Big Hat Barbecue, hashtag at Big Hat Barbecue. Of course, you can find us on Facebook also. You can find my personal account there, Michael Tutton, or you can find Big Hat Barbecue. But anyway, hey, like, subscribe, let me know. Hey, we might be doing t-shirts pretty soon, so keep your eyes. Let's get this brisket seasoned up with Brisket Mafia. It's their brisket rub, and that's all we're going to use on here. This is a part of a review. I told him that I'd buy it and I'd try it and I'd give a review for him. So this is what we're going to use, nothing else. I think I might use, you know what, I'm not even going to use a binder to it, just straight here. Even though mustard or olive oil, something like that, wouldn't affect it. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll do a little olive oil on there for you. All right, so we'll coat it with a little bit of olive oil. All right, didn't do any kind of competition trim on or anything, just knocked off some of the fat. It was already partially trimmed. Still need a little more to it. Now this isn't going to do anything to the flavor. All it's going to do is let the spices adhere a little better to it. All right. Don't worry. Dirty hands, I know, but we'll get everything wiped down with the bottle. So just for me and my wife, so I'm not worried about it. All right, here we go. Nothing but the brisket rub. And this is a big piece of meat, 14 pounds. I'm gonna put this on the Masterbuilt 1050 and probably around 11 o'clock, midnight, and it's just going to it's just gonna go until it's done. I'm not setting timers on it. We'll watch the temperature and I'll check out the color and all that kind of stuff on it. You can see it's very coarse, very coarse. All right. Go ahead and get it turned over. Now, if I was cooking this for one of y'all, or in a competition or anything like that, then some of this silver skin, we do our best to get all that silver skin off. All right, so I want to get down in this flap here. This is the point. It's the part where burn ends come from. Having a time with this, as I mentioned earlier, didn't have any kind of freshness seal on it, so it was really lumped up. And see, it's lumped up in here. It's lumped up in here now, and making it a little difficult. Now, some people will they'll season this up and they'll let it sit overnight, that kind of stuff. And we're not going to do all that. There's really no need to. We're not going to inject it or anything. All right, so I'm going to let that set. Excuse me. I'm going to let that set and get my hands washed here. Excuse me, I'll be right back with you. All right, so we got it seasoned. All right, I'm not going to show you firing up the grill or any of that stuff. That's not what this is about. It's about the seasoning on this meat, how it tastes at the end of the cook. So it's almost 10 o'clock now. I think midnight I'll put it on, and then won't check it again until the morning, probably around 8, 9 o'clock. Reload the Masterbuilt 1050 with some B&B charcoal if need be, and we'll see where it's at, and then we'll let it just cook, and we'll give it a taste test a little later. Anyway, hey, thanks for stopping by. Hope you like the content. Hope you like my channel. If you do, hit that like button, subscribe, ring that little bell up there so you'll know when I post up some videos. Give me a shout over on Instagram, Michael Tutton 44, Big Hat Barbecue, hashtag Big Hat Barbecue. You can find me on Facebook under the same, Big Hat Barbecue. Anyway, God bless. Thank you for stopping by, and we'll talk to y'all later. All right, here it is, about 10 minutes till 9. Let's take our first peek at the brisket with the Brisket Mafia Rub on it. She's been cooking since around midnight. There you see the internal temp. There's what she's looking like. All right, close her up and let her go. All right, so let's finish this up on the Brisket Mafia. We done a comparison between Brisket Mafia's Brisket Rub and the B&B Cattle Call and the B&B Trinity on some steaks. Both were excellent, excellent rubs. The Brisket Mafia had a little bit of heat to it, and the B&B didn't. The wife said that she'd eat either one of the steaks again, so that's a winner. Those are winners. But the main thing that we were doing, the whole reason for the Brisket Mafia was to test it out on a brisket using nothing but the Brisket Mafia Brisket Rub. I told him I'd give him a very honest review. He did not send this to me free. I had to buy it, and I had to pay the shipping on it too. I couldn't tell the wife how much I paid for the Brisket Mafia. She would have shot me for spending that much money. But anyway, the only issue, and it's just a minor one, but you know how we all have our OCD things, was that when I got it, there was a lack of a freshness seal on there. And because of that, it was all lumped up here on the inside of it. Easy fix, you know, I just took a nice pick or a knife and jabbed down in there and loosened it all up. But this rub is very coarse rub. So the plan was on the brisket, I wasn't going to use any kind of binders. We were just going to coat it and run with it. Well, because it was so coarse, I decided to go ahead and use a binder. Now, his instructions that he has here on the side, he tells you on here to use mustard. Some people use mustard, and you know, some people use olive oil. I just decided to run a little olive oil over the brisket. We put it on around midnight last night. The brisket cooked all night long on the Masterbuilt 1050. Reloaded it this morning with the charcoal. We checked on it around 9 o'clock this morning. It was looking really good. You saw that in the video portion. The cook went about 15 hours total. It actually cooked for about 14 hours, and then I rested it for another hour, almost another hour and a half. So we'll just call it 15 hours. I've got the video, the pictures posted up. The brisket was very tender. You could bend it and it wouldn't break. The tug was great. There was plenty of juice, moisture in the brisket itself. That was a 14-pound brisket. I've got a little piece of the flat left and a little chunk of the point left for later in the week. And that was all devoured by my wife and I. Brisket Mafia was really good. It had a little bit of bite to it, So if you think a true Texas brisket is salt and heavy on the black pepper, that bite that you would get from that, you'd get it. It had great color to it. As you can see in the video, this is just a synopsis of the whole thing, because there towards the end I had my hands full and had to get the wife to take a few pictures, and you know, it was just what it was. But anyway, great product. I've already gone on my Facebook page, Big Hat Barbecue, and also on my personal page, and given a shout out to him. Hey, if you like to support veterans, Brisket Mafia is a veteran-owned company. See, he's got his little symbol right here on the bottle. It tells you on here that he has salt is the main ingredient on the spice. Then it says spices including, so he's not telling you his whole secret here, but it's got some paprika in there, some dehydrated onion, and some garlic. There's some other stuff in there, I guarantee you, because it's got a little bit of heat to it. Not bad, just a little bit of heat to it. Other than the color of it from the paprika, it would have, to me, it would have tasted just like a straight up and down true Texas brisket, salt and pepper. It was really good. My wife really liked it also. So big shout out to Brisket Mafia, and brother, I hope you do well with this. I'll give you a shout out on Instagram also. But anyway, that was Brisket Mafia out of Lubbock, Texas. Brisket Mafia out of Lubbock, Texas. Thanks for watching. I know it's not the greatest stuff in the world, but hey, it's an old man trying to spread a little love out in the world. Anyway, like, subscribe, hit that bell if you would for me. We're trying to get this thing going. And I appreciate each and every one of you that subscribe and watch the videos. And hey, have a nice day.